What's going on, guys? It's Suspected here, bringing you a real quick announcement before we start. For those of you who don't know, I've actually been streaming on Twitch recently and have been having an absolute blast with it. If you're interested in interacting with me and the Sylph community while watching things like playthroughs and shiny hunting, then definitely be sure to check it out and give me a follow. My Twitch link is in the description below. I stream every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, so I hope to see you guys there. It would definitely mean a lot to me. Without any further ado though, let's jump into today's video. Aside from a few comments made by Game Freak employees over the years, we have never really gotten a lot of information into the creation and design process for Pokémon. Or at least that was the case until very recently when a new manga piece was released called Satoshi Tajiri, the Man Who Created Pokémon. In this manga, parts of the Pokémon creation process were detailed, and one of these parts was a poll that was hosted among Game Freak employees where they voted on their favorite Pokémon designs in order to narrow down which Pokémon would be included in the final games. This manga has revealed several never-before-seen designs that didn't end up making it into the games. While we have seen some unreleased Pokémon before, some of which were, very strange, this manga revealed many more, some of which are really cool. As such, today I thought we'd count down the top 5 unreleased Pokémon. Keep in mind that this countdown was created from my opinion, so let me know what your favorites are in the comments down below. Coming in at number 5 is a newly announced unreleased Generation 1 Pokémon that came out in the new manga that I mentioned, named Jaggu. Jaggu appears to be based on a shark and swordfish hybrid. Not only do I really like this thing because of its awesome design, but also because of its unique origins. We didn't get a single shark Pokémon until Generation 3 with Sharpedo, and arguably haven't gotten another one since. Unless perhaps you include the Garchomp line, but that's very debatable since it's part ground type and is more closely resembling a dragon or dinosaur creature of some sort. Oh, and not to mention, it has legs. We also haven't gotten a single swordfish Pokemon that I can think of, with perhaps the closest being Gorbis, but I feel like it's more so meant to be an eel of some sort. Having this wicked looking shark would have been awesome in Generation 1, but of course, Generation 1 was full of water types already, so I can understand why it was scrapped. At number 4, we have this unnamed turtle Pokemon that actually comes from Generation 2 beta images. Admittedly, we have had our fair share of turtle Pokemon across the generations, but at the time of Generation 2, the only ones we really had were those in the Blastoise line, so it wouldn't have been a stretch to ask for another cool one. Due to the similarity in design between this beta turtle Pokemon and Generation 5's Tortuga, many believe that it was actually the inspiration for Tortuga's design, which I believe is very feasible. However, I do like the beta turtle quite a bit better personally due to its bulk and how well the green shell works with it design-wise, and I think it had the potential to evolve into something really cool with perhaps something creative like a bug and water typing. Since of course Tortuga did end up being released later, I'm not too upset about this thing not having been released, so that's why it takes spot number 4 on this list. At number 3 for the bronze medal is an unreleased Pokemon named Oguma, a Pokemon whose name literally translates as Flame Bear. Oguma is actually another beta Pokemon from Generation 2, but interestingly enough, it also appeared in the Gold and Silver Alpha test as the fire starter for Generation 2 instead of Cyndaquil. In this Alpha test, it had the moves Ember, Scratch, and Leer. Imagine that, this Pokemon was originally intended to be the Johto Fire starter Pokemon. That's really cool, and honestly, I think this cool looking Fire Bear possibly had better design potential than the Typhlosion line. Unfortunately, the reason for this thing being scrapped still remains a mystery, but some have speculated that since they already had a bear evolution line with Teddiursa and Ursaring, they decided to make it a different species altogether. Whatever the reason was, I don't agree with it, because this thing is just awesome and I really wish it had become real, even if it didn't get the fire starter spot. At number 2, we have another unreleased Pokemon from the recently released manga that looks like this. Unfortunately, we have no idea what its name was, but it definitely looks like a deer or a moose Pokemon of some sort, and a really awesomely designed one at that. Looking back at the Generation 1 sprites, this would have definitely been among the best designed ones, and it looks even cooler with this Ken Sugimori inspired art by a Twitter and Instagram user named EmdyOfficial, and this one here, whose original artist I couldn't find, so please let me know if you find them so I can give them credit in the description below. Instead of the standard deer Pokemon we've gotten in the past, I think this thing could have had a cool mix of typings like normal and rock, or even grass and rock. This thing is definitely one of the coolest Pokemon designs, not only of the unreleased Pokemon, but of all time, and I hope Game Freak one day officially releases it. And taking the #1 spot on this list is Goro Chu. This Pokemon was revealed by Pikachu's original illustrator Atsuko Nishida and Pokemon designer Ken Sugimori in an interview with the Japanese newspaper Yomiuri on May 2nd, 2018. Amazingly enough, this was actually supposed to be Raichu's evolution. Keep in mind that the artwork on screen is not the actual design artwork, but are instead fan-made versions of it made by the listed artists. In the interview, Nishida and Sugimori merely described the evolution as having fangs and a pair of horns, so these are definitely cool renditions of it. Apparently, Goro Chu was scrapped before the game came out because of, quote, balance issues. The electric type wasn't overly powerful in Generation 1, so I'm really confused about this reason. Perhaps they meant balance in a different way, as in maybe it looked too aggressive or something. I've always wished that Raichu would get an evolution, especially because I found it weird that the mascot of the entire Pokemon franchise didn't have a 3-stage evolution line at first, and that its evolution wouldn't be that great of a Pokemon in battle. Of course, we ended up getting the Pikachu pre-evolution named Pichu in Generation 2, and sure, it's cute, but meh. Raichu definitely needed a boost, and let's all face it, Gorochu is definitely cooler than Pichu. Gorochu is definitely my favorite of the unreleased Pokemon for these reasons, and I'm really hoping with the new emphasis on Pikachu and the rumored Let's Go Pikachu Generation 8 game, they'll finally decide to give it the second evolution that it needs and deserves, even if it's a split evolution of sorts. Well, those are my top 5 favorite unreleased Pokemon. I found this to be a really fun and challenging video to create, so if you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and comment down below letting me know your opinions on today's topic. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one, it really helps the channel grow. This has been Spectre, and I'll see you guys next time for another countdown video.